Welcome everybody to Barney's Food Review. Today we're going to be doing our very own smash burgers, and with that being said, I'm going to review it as well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the prep in making one, because you at home then can follow along. Such a simple thing to do. You just need a couple of things to help you on your way. So what we'll do first is we'll show you how it's done, and then we'll get into the good stuff, which is then eating it and then reviewing the burger itself. So let's get to it. So the first thing that we're going to do is going to make sure we've got a clean surface. Second of all then, which I think is equally important, is making sure that the hands are all nice and clean, ready to go. So let's get into the ingredients. So first you're going to need your mince. Now I've bought steak mince, and I've bought 500 grams here of steak mince. The reason why we use that then is because you don't need really anything to combine it, because the beef itself will just be naturally really nice. So that's why I've picked steak mince, and it'll just make it easier for you as well at home, because you won't have to do as much when prepping it. As well as the steak mince, you will then need 1 egg. Now we only want the yolk of the egg just to make the burger that little bit more richer in flavour. Then the last thing really, apart from the cheese and the brioche buns that we're going to get, my preference is having onions. So we're going to fry some onions off as well. You can choose whether or not to take an onion or not, but I'm going to choose to have it with it. I've got 2 cheeses. I've got mozzarella and Gouda cheese. Now I just think that the texture of the mozzarella, making it really nice and milky, is really nice, and then you've got the nice sweetness then of the Gouda as well. So they are my 2 preferences in cheeses, but you choose whichever one that you want in order to make your burger nice. Then we have the bun itself. So I've gone from the nice St. Pierre brioche bun, just because I know that they're really nice, and they really do toast up really well when you put them on the hob with the nice butter in the hob. So they're the ingredients. They are literally all you need to make these burgers, and in reality it's going to take a couple of minutes as well to put it all together as well. So let's get on to the next bit. So let's get started. So what I did forget to say is what you might need for your own taste as well is some salt and pepper, because that's how I'm going to be seasoning our meat today. So first we're going to get a bowl, and we're going to put our meat inside the bowl. Now I'm going to use some lovely salt to go over the top of it. Just a couple of pinches is all you need, and then some cracked pepper on top. So now what we're going to do is we're going to now put the yolk into the mix. Now how you do this is entirely up to you. So I did mine just over the sink. I let the whites go down in the plug hole, and then I'm just left down with a nice yolk. I'm just going to plonk that in there, and then what we do then is we start with the mixing. Now I'm just going to do this with my hands, just to get that nice and in there. And you know, as we go in, I think this is the best way to do it. So let's just speed this up a bit so that you can see the end. And then you'll be left then with a nice little bowl. Now what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to wash my hands to just get off the raw meat on my hands, and then we'll move on. Now however you want your onion is completely up to you. Now I know I like mine in the big rings, so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to make a quiet incision there just to peel the first bit of skin off, just like Shrek. He's like an onion because he's made of layers. So I'm going to do nice rings, nice big rings. Now, you know, I mean, they're only like a centimetre thick. You know, it'll be enough to sort out there. So we got some nice big rings there. So that's just ready to prep, so that when we chuck them in the oven, don't listen to me. So when we chuck them in the frying pan, they're just ready to go there. So now we're going to just place them into nice little balls. So I'm just going to take a nice crunch off of that. Now, some people will say, you know, get them into like a nice tennis ball. Now, I mean, it's entirely up to you, I guess. It all depends on how big you want your burgers and, you know, what you want from them. Now, I'm going to do approximately a nice little tennis ball. Well, that's going to be huge, mind. So I'm going to plate this up and then we'll go from there then. So because I realised I was cooking for myself, my wife and my daughter, I've actually gone for half-size tennis balls, which now actually feeds everyone and no one gets left out. If I was going for the tennis ball, then I would have only had 4, which, I mean, that'll just feed me. Now what we do is we now preheat our pans. So they've been preheated now, so I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of oil now in the pan. Now whatever oil you use is entirely up to you, but we're only going to put a tiny bit in just to cover the surface of the pan. That way then, what it won't do is it won't scream. Well, it probably will scream, but it's not going to be that bad. What else you're going to need is then your choice of smasher. Now, my choice of smasher is a smasher that I bought. Let me see if we can get that in there. Fabulous. Now, I picked this up from Amazon. Now, really cheap. I think I only paid about £8 for it, and it does the job perfectly. So when I get my beef now into the pan, when it's nice and smoky, then we're going to smash these in and just make them obviously look a bit more rounder. Now we've got our buns in there now with a preheated pan full of butter. So what I'll do now is I'll give it a bit more firmness when obviously the meat goes on, because the meat will be quite juicy. So we're going to fry that off with a bit of butter now, just to give it a nice colour on the outside as well. And then we'll be done with that. So let's get on with the beef. Now, if it does spit at you, I am sorry, but we've got a nice high temperature here. So you want it on at least a medium high. And you can see the smoke, I don't know if you can. So we're going to get that in there. It's nice. And we're just going to let that cook for a very small second. And what I'll do is I'll allow it then to stick there whilst it cooks off. So that's now going. And then I think I'm ready now to smash. So you got the first smash there. So oh, and I filled it. So I just have to rearrange that. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to let that caramelize now, just like any other thing that you do. So I'm just going to chuck my other one in there. You don't touch it. That's the important thing here, is just don't touch it. And then you just smash down. Nice. And then just release. And then just turn out a little bit. Smash that down. Get it nice and flat. And again. Nice. And you can see there's a nice crust being made now on the top of that. And these are going to be banging, I can just tell. So I'll show you when it's all prepped together. So now the cheese is going on the top, and we'll just let that melt over. Now ideally what you'll do is you put a pan on the top. That way then it'll just absorb the heat and it'll help it melt a little bit more. So we got them smashed out again. So let's do the first taste test. Oh boy, that's wonderful. So the sauteed onion gives a nice crunch. Got a real nice crunch of the burger because you high cooked it. It's just a really good burger. Cheese melts in your mouth. It's a really, really nice burger. So easy to make. So get on it. Cook some more. You know, do more home cooking. It's nicer for you, it's healthier for you. Just get on with it. I will ask a favour, and the favour is this. If you can please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, share them, hit the notification bell. It just really helps me do what I love doing, which is cooking, eating, and I think in my head over the last couple of weeks of doing this now, I think I've got a vision for how I want this to look, and I want this channel to be able to help with the needy, with the people who are in need whilst we're living in this crisis. So please give it subscribe. Sorry, don't give it a subscription. Give us a subscribe, a like, a thumbs up, and just help this channel grow, because I really want to see this help other people, not just myself, but more for other people. So that's Barney's food review. This burger, a wonderful, beautiful burger. I'm not going to say it's the best I've ever had, but it is a solid 8 out of 10. So thank you for watching. Please hit the notification bells, hit the subscribe button, like the videos, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you with my next video. Ciao.